What can I say? Sometimes it's easier that way. And what can I do?
Hello!
Hi, everybody!
Hi! We haven't done one of these in a while. Our little round table discussions. Or
Couch is kind of round.
no, it's round table as in what we do,
Yes.
not necessarily the furniture.
Because I believe the first round table we had a square table.
Yes. Then we wound up getting a round table, and that was short-lived.
Yeah.
Now we're doing this thing. We moved here to the couch after we picked up Tony, and Tony hadn't been here in a while.
Yeah.
We just stayed in the couch.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
couches are comfortable.
It's easier this way. Anyway, we also haven't given credit to the theme song in a while.
Oh yes, we forget about that a lot.
So Brandy Robinson, what can I say? Off of Beautiful Graffiti.
Beautiful Graffiti.
On Bandcamp.
Yep.
So
and you can also check her out, Brandy Robinson Music on YouTube. And also, because we've talked about how much of a whore we are, someone I know from Letterboxd has shout out our channel on his blog, so I'm going to shout out his blog, which is uselessmeanderings.blogspot.com. So check out his blog. It's got a bunch of stuff about movies and wrestling.
hey, it's a quid pro quo.
Exactly.
Because
we are whores. We don't want direct money because that's a lot of tax bullshit that I don't really want to deal with.
I mean,
Right now.
I like money, but we have to get enough to actually do stuff.
And also, when you get money, you have to pay taxes on money.
Oh
At
yes,
this point, I prefer just getting free shit.
Yeah, free shit's better.
But once we get enough money, then we can pay Caesar what's owed Caesar. But anyway,
Useless
Yeah, I wouldn't
Meanderings is
mind-
the
yeah,
perfect
I mean-
name for something we're appearing on.
I really wouldn't mind if Blue Apron just gave us a supply of
I would,
or
yes.
something like that.
Blue Apron, give us food so we have snacks for
Yes.
round tables.
Go ahead, we'll just sit
Yeah,
here
we'll
with one of your boxes here.
we would promote your service if you just provide us your subscription for free. Whatever. That's probably cheaper than a lot of people you pay. Anyway, what I have planned for discussion right now is, I've seen the state of fantasy in media over the years, especially these last couple decades.
Non-existent.
Really dark. The state of fantasy. It's like the dark and super realistic, which is less fantasy than fantasy. But anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of counterproductive, you might say.
Yeah, that's.
One of the things I've been wondering is, recently, what the heck happened to the happy ending?
Well, that's what I'm here to. That's what we're discussing. Yeah.
Because I've been missing that a lot.
Yeah. What brought this back into my memory? Because this was a discussion we were going to do a long time ago, and we forgot about it. What brought this back was I had recently been playing Dragon Quest XI, the Japanese role-playing game. I've always been a big fan of the Dragon Quest series. But and one thing they do in the Dragon Quest series, they've always stuck to at least the bright beginnings in their worlds. And I think a lot of people would go like, this bright, whimsical fantasy is just boring writing. And I disagree. I think you can actually do so much more with a bright start. There's a lot of the greatest works of fantasy start with the bright fantasy. Take Tolkien, for example. Both The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, you start in the Shire. You see this simple, bright, carefree life, provincial life. And as you journey on away from the Shire, it gets darker, it gets grittier. And that makes those dark, serious moments have more weight and impact.
But Josh, how can our hero brood if they came from a happy background? Don't you know that the only character trait that a main character is allowed to have is brooding?
Well, let's take the Fellowship of the Ring once again. Let's take the Lord of the Rings trilogy. By the end, Frodo is brooding like heck. His life is terrible near the end.
But he doesn't brood. He doesn't. Yeah, I don't think Frodo ever just sits around and is just like, oh, this world is blah blah. I mean, he always seems like he's still trying to.
Oh, he is trying to fulfill the goal, yes. But man, is he torn down like.
Well, there's a difference.
To be practically
there's a difference
depressed.
between being jaded and brooding.
Right.
It's why everybody hates Sasuke from Naruto, because he broods. He's a childish edgelord.
Yeah.
Which is sadly the state of a lot of, especially fantasy and science fiction. The state of a lot of these main characters is
Childish, edgelord, Mary Sue.
But yeah, I just always felt that you care more about the fantasy world when you can tell the difference between
Mordor and the Shire.
Yes, and you can tell. You can tell what will happen when you do save the world.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, maybe it won't go entirely back to the bright, happy Shire, but it will be better than this over here.
Right.
Right.
But like I said, I think I explained why. It's because there's this trend in writing right now where the only way character development comes from brooding to super brooding.
And I feel, I don't want to be that insulting to modern writers, but I think it actually is because they're too lazy to find out how to write different kind of characters.
Well, there's a term called art by committee, and it's just this idea of like, so you have a story. Well, you know, the only way you write a story, well, it's great, good story, great story, medium, it doesn't matter. But then your editor comes in and is like, well, you know, people are going to relate to the character more if you do this. And then marketing comes in and is like, well, you've got to do this. Until every bit of originality has been scrubbed away by all these various elements until what you've got is what's popular now.
To what you've got is what market data proves will sell.
Yep. And even if you have this grand idea, you know, you've still gotta get it out there. And self-publishing might be easier today than it's ever been, but it's still not that still extremely hard to get your self-published work out to a mass audience. So you still got to go through the publisher, which is going to tell you, oh, we can't market a book like this. This is too sunny and happy. Everybody's going to think it's for kids. So you either turn it into a kid's book or you scrub out the whimsy.
I don't know. A lot of the so-called young adult audience these days is pretty dark and dystopian if you look at it.
Well, yeah, that's what young adult. I'm talking about you turn it into a kid's book, like
okay.
Dr.
This is a fairy tale.
Yeah.
As if, you know, fairy tales couldn't be taken seriously.
Also, can I state a problem I've had with fantasy for a while? So your fantasy, you're creating a whole new world from scratch. Oh man, we're just gonna fill it with our imagination. Okay, let's populate it with some races. Of course, you got humans. What else can we put in here? Elves that are exactly like Tolkien's elves. Dwarves that are exactly like Tolkien's dwarves. Nah, fuck halflings. Halflings are lame.
It's like,
Come on, like, how about, like, weird squid monsters with, like, unicorn heads or something?
you either go full Tolkien or don't. And it's like,
even if you're gonna put elves on, put a new... Elves are either a race of Mary Sues, or they are, like...
Demigods.
But,
No.
that's
You
part of the
already
main
said
suit.
right, they're like these Mary Sues, or they're like these snotty, like, elitist. You can.
I took it a step further in my universe, where I took the idea of the elitist thing and just pushed it to an extreme where, on Avalon, elves are isolationist racists, basically. If it's not elven, it's crap. And they're colossal assholes about it most of the time. But it's like, I just took the idea and pushed that because, why not? They want to push it in that direction. Let's take it all the way.
I'm just like, you're creating a fantasy universe. Create something fun. I mean, at least Skyrim have Argonians and Khajiit.
Yeah, you have to have a unique idea to yourself, I think, at least.
But like, how many of these fantasies? Vampires. You gotta have vampires.
Well, vampires are.
You can't have a fantasy novel without vampires.
You totally can.
No, you can't, Josh.
Tolkien did it.
Marketing. But Josh, Twilight was really popular. We have to have a brooding vampire love interest. Turn the love interest into a vampire, Josh, or we're not going to publish your book.
Okay.
And don't forget the race of werewolves stalking in the background somewhere.
And also the werewolves and vampires have to be at war with each other.
Because, they have to hate each other.
They have to hate each other.
And the werewolves have to be extremely, really, really, really hot.
Well,
everyone has to be really hot.
Yes,
everyone's hot.
Come on.
Why else do you think it's called fantasy?
Yeah.
Except the bad guys. The actual bad guys get to be fat slobs.
Sometimes.
Well, sometimes. They can also be uber ripped, but not necessarily traditionally hot. Yeah.
Well, not everyone's hot. The hero will sometimes have the one scar. That doesn't really make him ugly, but like...
But, no one loves them because,
Well, and you got that scar as a child from some incident. That makes him all broody. Since we're coming back to the dark thing.
And or special Harry Potter.
Yeah.
His scar makes him a Mary Sue.
Is it a scar or a birthmark?
It was a
scar.
It was a
Really? I
scar.
thought it was a birthmark.
It's a lightning bolt scar.
Okay.
Where Voldemort killed his parents and tried to kill him, but
That's how you know Voldemort sucked as a villain. He couldn't kill a baby. But anyway.
Oh yeah, darkness.
Too much of it.
I agree. And I guess I don't even mind if it's got a dark start, but you need levity that's not token comic relief.
Right.
Because the problem with token comic relief is it's just like, they're usually just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we're in this dark labyrinth to the evil king's lair. What's this button do? Whoops a doozles! Because I gotta have a catchphrase!
Oh,
You wait on the airship while we take care of
You're completely useless. Actually, a detriment to our party.
Like, why do they keep comic relief character around? At least C-3PO was useful as a universal translator.
Yes.
yeah.
Whoopsie doodles! Hey, what's over there on the side of that airship? I don't... Whoopsie doodles! Thud. Well,
And
that took care of our problem.
And nothing of value was lost.
And the peasants rejoiced.
Yay. But, I found that Dragon Quest XI, it had the brighter start, and so when halfway through the game, when we get to this, oh my god, villain takeover, dark moment, it was extremely impactful, I found. It was like, when he practically unleashed Armageddon on the world, I mean, spoilers, I'm sorry. But, when the bad guy
Nobody in
did-
America plays Dragon Quest, Josh.
Yeah, sadly.
Besides,
Anyway,
how many years ago was this?
not this year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is the newest one he's talking about.
But, when he unleashed, he basically destroyed the world as we knew it, and everything's all... It impacted so much more than if it started serious, I think.
Whoopsie doodles.
Oh, dear. Yeah, whoopsie doo. And, yeah, did Dragon Quest XI have that, fairy tale-esh, everything's back to where it should be ending. Yeah, it does at the end. Things get corrected by the act of an actual Deus Ex Machina. A god fixes everything. But, you know, you had to get there first. It's not like their victory meant nothing. It's like you had to free Yggdrasil before she could fix everything.
And how dark can a series be with those adorable little slimes in
The
it?
slimes are incredible, yeah.
The slimes are adorable.
Yeah,
They're
they
the
are.
cutest little things.
And you know, they are the mascot of the Dragon Quest series, but they're also like one of the weakest things you ever fight.
Well, but then you got the she slimes, the orange ones.
Yeah, the variations are stronger,
and
but
then you
base
get the
slimes.
king slimes.
Yeah.
Well, even like the other ones, even like the king slime with that big dumb goofy grin that makes him so has
Yeah,
little crown.
it's just a bigger slime with
and
a
he's got a little crown.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It's the king slime.
And there's like 8,000 of them, so I guess their monarchy really has some issues. Well, I guess if you murder one, a new king has to.
Yeah. I just don't. It's like, why is it when a bunch of slimes come together to form a king slime that the crown suddenly appears? Who knows? Who cares? It's whimsy.
Yeah.
This world is too busy averting catastrophe after catastrophe to worry about slime biology.
Yeah, this doesn't matter at all.
Those slimes are a goo mascot slur.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of, I just love the fun stuff that happens in Dragon Quest for no good reason. In 11, we encounter an all-girls school, a school, basically to make them classy young ladies. They like etiquette and all that other stuff. That's what they're teaching. But they accept girls of all races. And so on campus there are some
like female slimes.
There are some monster girls that, if they can wear uniforms, have to wear the uniform. But in the case of the slime who says it's a girl, but yeah, it's like you can't put a uniform on it, so there it is.
Yeah.
But she's a good girl.
Of course she is.
Because, you know, that's how slimes talk. But they had a zombie. You know, using the model that Dragon Quest uses for zombies.
Yeah.
That look nothing like a girl, but they put her in the outfit.
Yeah.
And the
Don't assume it's gender.
Right, you know.
Just smash its head until it stops moving and get the delicious experience points.
Yeah.
Lesson for all you kids out there: don't assume anyone's gender. Smash their heads and get their delicious experience points. I'm a father, by the way.
Well, you know, he's equal opportunity murderer, apparently.
Exactly.
He doesn't discriminate. That's why it's progressive.
Exactly. Look, they all give you the same experience points no matter the gender.
Yeah. There's no experience gender gap.
Exactly.
Right. Anyway,
Uh,
politics are bad. Why are we having them on this channel?
I don't know. It was just a joke about. It was just a joke about murdering people.
Anyway, yeah. I just love the sort of things that happen. I felt that...
Do you remember the name of the school in Dragon Quest IX that was totally not Hogwarts?
A Swine Pimples Academy.
Swine Pimples Academy.
Yeah. It was although it didn't look like they were specifically teaching magic, it was just a school. But still, yeah, it was supposed to be Hogwarts.
Because Dragon Quest is fun.
Yes, it is.
That's why I can't...
It's full of so many darn puns, you can't stand it.
Can I state something else I don't like about fantasy? Can we let fantasy be fantasy? Do we have to add science fiction elements to fantasy? Does fantasy always need airships and magic mecha and garbage like that?
Blame Final Fantasy
yeah.
for that.
Blame
It
Final
basically
Fantasy.
was the one that, if it didn't invent it, it made that sort of thing popular. And everybody wants to be Final Fantasy. Nobody wants...
First Final Fantasy, there was an airship.
Yeah, I know. And magic robots. They were in both. They were in the
Although I
first
guess
one.
to be fair, the Dragon Quest game has robots.
They do have the hunting machines.
Yeah.
They don't specifically say that they're magic, but there are inexplicably robots that roam around.
Yeah, I don't even know what they are other than Akira Toriyama was high that day.
Yeah, well, they became one of the iconic monsters, so they're in almost every game.
And they're almost never even commented on. They're just there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Akira Toriyama likes drawing robotic stuff.
Yeah.
He's a car guy and a gun guy. Believe it or not.
Yeah,
I can believe it.
I do believe it. He seems like a gun guy.
I mean, his characters he gave guns to in their hands, sort of.
Well, there's almost this idea in, especially Dragon Ball, of might makes right.
Yeah.
The very American idea of having power means that, not necessarily American, it is a problem with a lot of America, which is the idea that power equates to
Who is
truth. Yeah. And I see a lot of that in Dragon Ball. But that is politics, and I'm going to get away from that now.
Yes. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of these fantasy universes that are so dark you can't see a thing. I mean, not just visually, you know.
Right.
And I'm going like, for God's sake, somebody throw a pie.
But like I said, when it comes to levity, you can't just do the token comic relief of...
Yeah, it's because it's forced.
Yeah.
And people can tell it's forced and they don't like it.
Yeah, when it's forced, it's, what's the term kids use nowadays? Cringe.
Cringeworthy.
Yes.
Yes, cringe is short for cringeworthy, because our kids today can't be bothered to type 5 extra letters.
Right.
Kids these days, you damn millennials and whatever what people after millennials are, you're what's wrong with the world today.
Okay, boomer. Even though none of us are.
No, that's
we're
me.
sadly been jammed into being the rear edge of the millennials.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't care. I identify with X, Generation X.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't give a shit.
I remember when we were Generation X. And then we would complain too much about millennials, and then they decided to push the dates back, and it's like, yeah, you're a millennial now. It's like, well, now it takes one to know one.
Look, the problem with society is everyone but us.
People, am I right?
Because the generations that came before us they're stuck in their ways, and they're backwards, and they don't know what's going on because they're too far up their own asses. And these new kids are lazy and entitled. We're the only ones.
They're stupid kids that don't know any better yet.
Yep.
They need to listen to us because we figured everything else out.
Yep. But the people who came before us, they were just stuck.
Oh yeah, they had no idea. We figured everything else. We found out what was wrong with them, and what they were doing. We fixed everything. We know better. We're not senile yet like them.
Exactly.
Also, you know what's wrong with the world? Other countries. Whatever. Yeah.
Are we
How dare they not?
Are we wandering off topic?
A little bit.
How dare they not be from here?
Other nations having sovereignty within their borders? That sounds like communism to me.
Why can't everybody be us? You
know? Except us, because we suck too.
Yeah.
Why can't everybody just be me?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with me.
Look, if everyone was more like me, you would be a bunch of communists.
And you know, we've been taught communism is bad,
Exactly.
so communists are bad.
I just use communist as a catch-all.
Yes, like everybody does. It's like,
oh, what? You think that people with higher education should get paid more? That sounds like commie talk to me.
Or at least socialism.
That's literally the exact opposite of communism.
I can't get everything I want. I can't get everything that I want always, ever. I'm being oppressed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what's wrong with this world? Communism and capitalism and socialism.
And that guy over there with the hat. You know who you're talking about.
People with glasses, that's what's wrong with this world.
Yeah, fuck up. Fuck guys with people with glasses. Seriously, ladies. Woo!
How did we get on this topic?
I don't know. But
I love it.
Lost the train of
was-
thought.
that's part of the fun. Well, I think we pretty much touch all the subjects.
Yeah.
Anyway. But
Yeah,
now we're just doing what we always do. And,
Subject, show me on the doll where he touched you.
we now return to Touched by an Angel. Here. Oh, you're a dead kid! Yeah, that was a Family Guy joke.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think I have to tell us to say about
Yeah, pretty much we just be
repeating ourselves.
repeating ourselves and
The Department of Redundancy Department.
gilding the lily and all these other things.
Could we please just get the happy ending back? That's all I'm asking.
Yes, I mean for
The
damn
happily
sake.
ever after. I'm gonna stop calling it the happy ending.
Or at least the better than the terrible thing that was happening ending.
Well,
it
I'm-
doesn't have to go right back to where that 100% happy return.
I just
But
want characters that aren't grimdark edgelords.
One of the big things
Some
I'm
variety.
tired of is this new thing where you have a bunch of rebels all fighting against odds and they end up winning, and yet somehow the world doesn't change.
yeah, it doesn't. Which almost get. And we're talking about adding realism to stuff that's probably closer to how things actually would be,
And then just get worse. 'cause-
where nothing actually changes unless it gets worse.
Yes, now you just got this
Yeah.
sun power vacuum.
But, that's not the message they're supposed to push when they are doing the whole rebel against the thing, because you're supposed to. Things are supposed to get better.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of one of the things is it's kind of hard to do that with an evil empire. Hey, you just have a bad wizard who blows stuff up. I mean, just look if you could have the happy ending if the villain's Kefka instead of the government.
Yes.
Yee! Okay, somebody's got to take the death ray away from the Psycho Clown.
Yeah.
Somebody call Batman.
Magic Batman, because we're dealing with Magic Joker.
No, it's true. What's sad is, I think at this point, Batman's had magic powers more than he's just been a regular dude.
Yeah, they love giving Batman superpowers.
You know what I like about
Even
Batman?
though his big argument from Batman fans is that he doesn't have superpowers. Like,
You know what I like about Batman? He's a regular dude who fights with just his wits and his skills. Let's give him a Green Lantern ring.
you know what I like about Batman? He's a regular guy who fights with just his wits, his skills, and his parents' trust fund money.
Also, an R&D department for a company that gives him awesome technology.
Yeah.
And also a cell phone that calls in this world's most powerful human being, or world's most powerful entity. Oh no! Superman! Superman! I need help, Superman! Help me, Superman!
Okay.
I'm too cool for you.
Okay, fine. Problem solved. I'm better than you.
Just remember, I have a space rock that'll make you sick.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Batman.
I always love the Batman sketches where he's basically just this man-child.
That's why I
It's like there was a series of sketches I wanted to do where it was just man-child Batman doing regular everyday things.
Alfred.
It's like, you remember those sketches? One of the ones I pitched where he was in the grocery store and he saw... it was in the grocery store with Alfred and they saw chicken... I was just in... they were doing chicken nuggets that were shaped like bats for
Yeah.
Halloween, stuff like that. And I passed that. And I just went, Alfred, bat-shaped chicken nugget. These chicken nugget bats. Alfred, I want them. Yes, Master Bruce, I'm Batman. Yes, Batman. He just had to have the chicken nuggets because they were bats.
Wasn't there also the Count Chocula with bat-shaped marshmallows?
It's like, yeah, it was something like that.
Look, this marshmallow, this cereal is bat. I will not eat cereal unless it has bats in it, Alfred. I don't want your stupid Cocoa Puffs. You're not my real dad, Alfred. My real dad's dead.
Batman, yeah, me.
Me, not Superman. Yes, Master Bruce, you are better than Superman.
He wears underoos. I wear body armor. I'm better than him.
Superman is body armor.
I know. Yeah. Superman could wear whatever the heck he wants. So you gonna stop him? Not really. You know, yeah, I've got nothing for the
Nope.
subject now.
So.
Like, other than the fact that on TV they showed a clip from Chronicles of Narnia, and it's like, that's what I'm talking about.
Nope, we're rebooting Chronicles of Narnia, where the main characters are all 16-year-old edge. No, gotta make them 18-year-old edgelords, so they're all fuckable.
And you know, and you gotta gender swap everybody.
Everybody.
Because, you know, that's gonna be better for branding or whatever. He's like, it's gonna be more woke. Aslan has to be a lioness.
Okay.
L shaving scene means nothing because a woman's not gonna get tied down. Of course, the White Witch is a dude because you have to fight the
white man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We joke, but that's like that close probably
Oh
to
my
happening. Wouldn't be surprised.
I like this idea of, okay, we have to show how powerful women are by making, okay, so.
Making them just copies of what the male characters are.
Okay.
We have to retell the story, but have the main character be a woman so that instead of making your own characters that are awesome in their own stories.
Captain Marvel. Okay, we got this with Carol Danvers. I actually am a big fan of the Carol Danvers character, but I guess like, well, yeah, she's Captain Marvel now. You know, this identity that has been a male for like 70 years. Well, now it's a female. The only way we can make Captain Marvel marketable is if we attach her to this male superhero. I want her to be Warbird again. Warbird was awesome and unique and an original character.
Yeah.
That's why everyone likes Wonder Woman, because she's Wonder Woman. She's not male Wonder Man.
Yeah.
Female Wonder Man.
And she certainly wasn't Superwoman.
Yeah.
She was her own thing. She was always her own thing. And I guess we better end it.
Because the dog
Yeah.
just came down. Hi, dog.
Oh,
Hi.
I wasn't sure if it was a dog or one of your kids.
No, I can tell it's the dog because the kids don't run down the stairs and, who's your puppy? Who's your puppy?
But anyway, yeah.
Come here, puppy. Oh, it's a puppy.
Before we
it's a puppy.
Before we deviate into more politics, which we keep doing.
Yeah, for some reason.
Bye
Bye, everybody. On the puppy.